We were having a conversation about the 2017 Trump tax cuts and how the tax cuts for working class were temporary, and the tax cuts for the corporations were permanent. And what we keep getting a lot of from, oddly enough, Trumpers is, well, why didn't Joe Biden fix it? He had 4 years to fix it, which, once again, I did a video earlier today about this, shows that they know it needs fixing, right? But they want to blame Joe Biden for not being able to fix it. And the fact of the matter is, Joe Biden cannot change tax law by himself. No president can. Not even Trump could. He had to sign into law a bill that was passed by Congress that was known as the Trump tax cuts, right? Because it's the tax cuts he wanted, so they gave it to him, and he signed it into law. But you guys keep arguing about how Joe Biden didn't fix it in 4 years, but he can't, right? Enter this guy. I love how Joe can't fix 4 years of Trump, but Trump could destroy Obama's 8 years in only 4. Make it make sense, lib. Okay, I will. Joe Biden did fix what Trump did, with the exception of the damaging tax bill, because Joe Biden cannot enact tax law by himself. You cannot do that via an executive order. It takes an act of Congress. Joe Biden stepped in and ordered the proper amount of vaccine doses that were needed, something that Trump failed to do because he didn't want to buy any from a certain manufacturer, a certain pharmaceutical company, because that company wasn't part of Warp Speed. Therefore, Trump wouldn't get credit for their vaccine, so he refused to buy them from them. So he left his successor short on how many vaccines were needed to vaccinate the country. Then Joe Biden utilized our existing pharmacy infrastructure to make sure he got doses into every town and city in America and got the nation to a level of vaccination that we needed. He fixed Trump's fuck up in that sense. He started treating our allies like allies and our enemies like enemies again, fixing that fuck up. He actually got us an infrastructure bill, something that we only heard about for 4 years out of Donald Trump. We kept hearing about how every 2 weeks was going to be, we were going to finally see that infrastructure bill. Never did see it. Joe Biden comes in, he gets it done with bipartisan support from Republicans in Congress. He passes a third stimulus package. He passes an Inflation Reduction Act. He passes the CHIPS Act to make sure as much of our technology is manufactured here in the United States as possible. He passes the PACT Act, which helps veterans of foreign wars that were exposed to toxic burn pits. Things that we didn't see happen previous to that, right? Joe Biden came in and did it. We saw our economy crater as a result of a president that ignored the global pandemic, and Joe Biden brought us back. Brought us back to pre-pandemic employment levels, plus a few million jobs. Stock market at all-time highs. Unemployment numbers at 60-year lows. He did fix it. Just because he doesn't have the unilateral power to reverse a horrific tax law doesn't mean he didn't fix the 4 years of Donald Trump. And Trump stepped in after 8 years of Joe Biden, and he didn't destroy all of the 8 years of Joe Biden, but he made his mark known, right? He rolled back things that Joe Biden, Barack Obama had in place, like, I don't know, the pandemic response team. Barack Obama left behind the setup and the tools necessary to properly and accurately and rapidly respond to a global pandemic. He had gone through some worldwide diseases himself, and he saw firsthand what was needed and put together a pandemic response team. But because he put it together, it had to be taken apart as soon as Donald Trump got in. He took apart what Obama did, causing the reaction to COVID to be worse. I know that none of this is going to help you make it make sense, but, I can only explain it. I can't make you understand it.